Good morning. It's Jim Dodson, your Florida bike guy. Welcome to our livecast, live streaming here this morning. I've got a little show and tell to work with you this morning. We're doing a program on how to get an effective headlight for your bike. You know, the data is really very positive that we need running lights on a bicycle during the day. And I think all of us know that when we're out riding, you really notice those people that have a bright light. And unfortunately, those people are not that common. My concern for most cyclists is both for a headlight and a taillight that we're running with lights that are not bright enough to actually be seen, bearing in mind all the clutter that's around us, the visual field for the driver. We need to be picked out of that clutter and that they recognize that we are a moving bicycle, someone on a bicycle moving towards them. So we've got 5 lights to show you this morning. We're going to pick them up. We're going to handle them. I want to give a big shout out to each of these manufacturers. They're very gracious in sending us samples of their product. These lights are going to vary today from the most expensive is $475 and the least expensive is $40. They're all bright. Some are brighter than others. They all have their unique capabilities and they all fit into a need or a niche or an area that riders want, depending on what you're doing and what type of riding you're doing. The first one I want to show you is the Lupine SL A4. This is a 900 lumen light. This is bright. This has got a very unusual feature because it has what they call is the dual aspheric lens system for bike lights. I'll put it up to the camera. You can see it. It's sort of convex. The light shines around it. This has an external battery pack, but it's very small. This has its own mounting system, of course. The battery pack has to be mounted, but it's going to give you 16 hours of running time during the day, which is a long time. So if you're on that long ride, day after day, this is a perfect light for someone who needs that kind of intensity and that type of how long you can run it, you know, which is important. It's got an aluminum body. It's very indestructible, it seems, and really easy to use. Got a control on the top. I can't put this on the camera because it'll be too bright, but this is a very bright light. This is the Lupine SL A4. Again, this costs $475, and it's 900 lumens. When you get into those big lumens, many times the manufacturer has to go to an external battery pack to support the battery. The next one is the Portland design City Rover. Okay, this is a 610 lumen light. It has a running time of 1.8 hours to 7 hours. It costs $59. It's got a waterproof exterior. It's self-contained. It's got a very simple system to put it across your handlebar. You know, one of the advantages of this type of system is you don't have to worry about losing the rubber band that so many of us use all the time. Very easy to control. All of them have multiple modes of flash and brightness. And depending on, how, you know, you're going to get the longest road life on the flashing mode. And, you know, the data seems to suggest as well that flashing is the easiest way to be seen when you're on the road. Hey, Mike, good to have you here. So I'm flashing this on the wall and I can see this is a very bright light. Again, 610 lumens. You know, I think I'm running currently on my bike 500 lumens. One of these is going to go on my bike when we finish, or one like it. So this is by Portland Design City Rover, the 610 USB headlight. All of these, of course, have their own charging system. You can plug it into the USB or to the wall. The next one I want to show you is the Lumen Trail LTC 3000. This is a bright light. So this is manufactured by Lumen Trail. It's got an external battery pack. It's going to be on the heavier side because this has between 2 and 6 hours, and because it's got so much power in the light. This is 3,000 lumens, and it is extremely bright. This is one of those lights that will really stand out when you're on your bike, even during the daylight. And I can't emphasize enough the importance of each of us having a bright headlight and a bright taillight. The whole purpose of me doing these demonstrations, and I've done a previous one on taillights. If you haven't seen it, you ought to go online, get our resource on that. We want to be seen, we want to be avoided. That's the whole name of the game. As we all know, the first thing the driver says when they make contact with one of us on a bike is, "I never saw them." And we want to minimize the odds of that happening. So this one, fits easily on the handlebar. Again, it's got just straps right onto the handlebar. It's got an attachment for the battery to go onto the frame of the bike as well. It's easy to use. The control is right on the back. This is a very bright light. I want you to, we're going to give away one of these lights, and you can enter by liking us. You can send a comment. You can give us a thumbs up, ask us a question, or enter a comment. Everybody who does that will be entered in a chance to win the light. At the end of the program, I'm going to give you an opportunity to get our resource on choosing a good bike headlight, and that'll be on a bit.ly link. And if you request that report, it'll have an extra opportunity to win one of these lights as well. So the next one is the Cycle Torch Shark 500. Okay, this is a self-contained light. This actually comes with a tail light as well. So it's got a small tail light that they include. Both of these attach with the typical rubber band type strap. This is the charging cord. It's going to attach onto your seat post or onto your handlebar for the headlight. Easy to control. Nice. This has got a very bright light. Again, this is 500 lumens. Again, a good light, a good brightness. And you're always going to find, in any of these lights, you're going to find that combination of flashing, the level of brightness that you want, and that's going to determine the battery life that you get out of the light. I think a lot of times I think many bike shops don't have all of these types of very bright lights. Sometimes you got to go to a specialty carrier. I would urge you to go to the website for each of these manufacturers and check out their products. This is just one of the lights that they have. Each of them have multiple products that they offer. And we want to support those people that are helping us ride safely. So the fifth light is the Planet Bike Blaze 650 SLX. Planet Bike Blaze 650 SLX. You notice this is one of those programs where I need to look down at my notes because we have some details here to go over. This is interesting because this light has an amber side light that gives you 275 degrees of visibility in addition to your headlight. Kind of an interesting feature. It's got a very fast blink. It's got all the modes of brightness. This is an amazing light for one that's self-contained because it goes up to 54 hours. It goes 2.6 hours to 54 hours of runtime. Now that would be on the blinking mode, but that's an incredible amount of time. If you're doing a cross country, you're not sure you're gonna have a place to charge your light at the end of the day, this will give you multiple days of riding. The Cycle Torch that I just mentioned here has 30 hours of riding time, which is another incredibly long riding cycle, particularly for a self-contained light. This one only costs $40, the Cycle Torch, and the Planet Bike Blaze cost $90. Now, they all have individual features that I would urge you to check out, but I think the thing that really struck me about doing this program today is the amount of time that these lights are providing. You know, the Planet Blaze with 54 hours, the Cycle Torch with 30 hours, the Lupine with 16 hours. I mean, they all have really good runtime. The minimum one has is 6 hours. That's really convenient. You don't have to charge it every time you ride. Gives you an opportunity to have flexibility for a long ride. You're doing a century, you need longer time in the bike. These are great options for that. So those are the 5 lights. Again, we're going to offer this choosing a good bike headlight. Go to bit.ly/choosing a good headlight. Now, those of you who have entered or do enter to win one of these lights, we're going to announce the winner during the program on the 20th, when we're doing an interview with Phil from Pedelec down in south of us. Phil's got an excellent dealership with e-bikes, and during that program, we'll announce our winner. We've gone to a weekly schedule, so we're going to be on the air every Thursday at 10 o'clock. I'd love to see you here. If you have a program or an idea of what you'd like us to do, give us a heads up. Hey, Tracy, I want to acknowledge everyone who's joined us today. I thank you for joining us. Go to bit.ly. The graph is on the screen. Get your report. This has all of the details of these lights, much more than I've even described here. Got a light, got a picture of them, and a detail of each of the features they all have. It's a great resource. If I can help you in any way, you have a question or concern, get in touch with the Florida Bike Guy. That's all we have today. This is Jim signing off. Have a great day. Be safe out there.